The Governor-General of Australia acts as a representative of the King of Australia, not the English Crown, in granting royal assent to legislation. The Australia Act 1986 confirmed Australia's legal independence, meaning the British Parliament no longer has any role in Australian law making. The Governor-General of Australia is the federal representative of the Monarch of Australia. The Governor-General has many constitutional and ceremonial roles in the Australian political system, in which they have independent agency. However, they are generally bound by the Convention to act on the advice of the Prime Minister and the Federal Executive Council. The Australia Act of 1986 confirmed Australia's legal independence by eliminating the power of the United Kingdom to legislate for Australia and ending appeals from Australian courts to the British Privy Council. This Act established Australia as a fully sovereign and independent nation. The Act was passed at the request of the Australian states, which provided the legal authority for the enactment under the Constitution. Legal status of the Australian Act 1986. Background of the Australian Act. The Australian Act 1986 consists of two related pieces of legislation, one enacted by the Parliament of Australia and the other by the Parliament of the United Kingdom. This Act was designed to eliminate UK's legislative power over Australia and to sever all legal ties between the two nations. It formally declared Australia as a sovereign, independent nation. Legal validity. The High Court of Australia has treated the Australia Act as a valid piece of legislation. It confirmed that the Act completed Australia's constitutional independence from the UK. The absence of a referendum does not invalidate the Act, as it was enacted through the proper legislative processes involving both the Commonwealth and state parliaments. Conclusion: the Australia Act 1986 is legally valid and recognised as a crucial step in establishing Australia's independence. Its enactment followed the constitutional procedures and the High Court has upheld its legitimacy. Amendment process. Changes to the Constitution require a referendum. This means that any proposed amendment must be approved by a majority of voters in a national vote, as well as a majority of voters in a majority of states. Australia's monarchy is part of its historical ties to the United Kingdom, established when the country became a federation in 1901. The King's role is enshrined in the Constitution, and any change to this system would require a national referendum. The absence of a referendum does not invalidate the Australia Act 1986 because it was enacted by the Commonwealth Parliament at the request of the Australian states, which is permitted under the Constitution. The High Court has upheld the Act, confirming its validity as it aligns with the Australian status as an independent nation. Section 51 of the Australian Constitution allows for the Commonwealth Parliament to exercise powers at the request or with the concurrence of the parliaments of the states directly concerned. This means that state parliaments must still represent the interests of their constituents when agreeing to such legislation. While Section 51 facilitates cooperation and delegation between states and federal governments, it does not directly establish self-governance. Instead, it provides a framework for states to refer power which can enhance their autonomy in specific areas. Constitutional processes in Australia require specific constitutional procedures, especially for amending the Constitution, which typically involves a referendum. The Constitution outlines how laws are made and how government powers are structured, ensuring that any changes follow established legal protocols. No referendum from whereas the people into the status of the Commonwealth of Australia as a sovereign, independent and federal nation. No voice from whereas the people at a state or federal level regarding the status of the Commonwealth of Australia as a sovereign, independent and federal nation. No power for whereas the people, as it lies in the hands of a corporate government pretending to be a constitutional monarchy.